I love shopping.
She buys, a pair of shoes. She opens the closet and there's racks of shoes and on the shelf they go.
I thought we should have a house, so we went and bought a condo.
Oh my God!
Financially, it's just been a disaster.
I haven't slept well in years.
We missed our first installment.
If you think things are hard right now, go another 2 years.
I just hope it's not too late.
Money, 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 money.
I'm married to Michael. We just had our 5th anniversary, and we have a 2-year-old son named Matthew.
Yo!
I'm Michael. I'm 30, and I'm an architectural technologist.
We started off our relationship with him, I think at that point about $30,000 in debt, and I was not.
She's kind of mad that I have this $40,000 student loan.
I don't regret having my son, but financially, it's just been a disaster. I always was trying to measure up to the other moms in the different moms groups. So anything he needed, anything that he could possibly need, I spent. We have a lot of debt, more than $100,000, and that's not including our actual mortgage, so it's scary. We owe my parents. I think the last time we checked it was $57,000 or $58,000.
2 years behind paying my taxes.
Our condo fees we have missed tons of times.
$30,000 student loan, $5,000 line of credit, credit card after credit card after credit card, money I owe to friends.
I look after most of the bill payments and most of the finances.
When it comes to budgeting, we've tried again and again.
We are completely broke at this point, so we moved in with my parents for a while, and we rented the place out.
If we don't get these debts taken care of, I'm pretty sure Laurel's going to leave me.
I don't think we could last much longer.
I think we need some help pretty bad.
This month, I'll help this couple move from red to black. I've been solving money problems for over 20 years, tackling everything from high finance to low income. I help people understand money and debt, which is still a huge mystery for most folks. And it's the #1 reason couples split up. So now I'm making house calls. Just barely 30 years old, Laurel and Michael have over $100,000 in consumer debt. Laurel's been blaming Michael for bringing a large student loan into the relationship, yet she's spending like there's no tomorrow. Now they're on the verge of splitting up, so I'm here to help.
Hi.
Hi, Gail Vaz-oxlade.
Laurel, nice to meet you.
If you
Come
don't
on
mind,
in.
I'm just going to drop my bag.
Sure, great.
Have a quick look around. Let's see what they have to show for all that debt. This is Matthew's room. Lots of toys. Lots of light in this room. Lots of toys. Laurel, did you leave me some presents to see?
I did go shopping, but there were some good sales.
You do pay good prices.
Oh no, the shoes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 19, 20, 21. I count 25 at first glance. Okay, there's not a lot of space, but this house is stuffed to the rafters. I went through the financial paperwork, and this is what I saw. Michael, you feel like a man who just doesn't know what to do next, but doesn't really matter what you do, you'll be wrong.
That's pretty much it.
It's eroding your sense of worth as a partner in this relationship. Laurel, on the other hand, you're not stressed at all. Seriously, you want him to shape up and everything will be okay.
It's not that I don't care, and it's not that I'm not stressed about it, and I think I am, but at the same time, it's like, what's the point, you know?
I see 3 issues. You are deeply resentful of the student loans that Michael brought into the relationship. That student loan, it's good debt because it's debt that gets you somewhere, as opposed to consumer debt, which is bad debt. You can't ever use that pair of shoes that you're carrying on your credit card to get you any further in life. You have $107,000 worth of debt. $28,000 is student loan, but all the rest is consumer debt. That's way too much debt. Second, the person that you've put in charge of managing the money has a love affair with shopping. It's kind of like putting the robber in charge of the bank. It's not going to work. Are you guys committed to staying together with each other?
Yes.
Michael? See, now you just did that blink thing. That lets me believe that you don't think that's actually going to happen.
Wow.
So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the detail. Laural and Michael, hold on to your hats. On May the 23rd, between the two of you, you went shopping 14 times. You bought shoes. You bought clothes. You went to the convenience store. You went to the drugstore twice. You took $300 out in cash. You spent almost $650 on one day. Between your restaurant costs, your miscellaneous consumption, and your cash, you guys are spending $2,100 on what I like to refer to as miscellaneous consumption.
It's a little shocking.
Sure is.
Here we have your $107,000 worth of consumer debt. On this, you are averaging 8.5%. And according to your budget, you're paying $966 every month. It's going to take you 18 years and cost you $103,000 in interest.
On top of the 107,000?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Can you see why debt is such a bad thing?
yeah.
Moving forward, we have a 3-point plan. The first thing we're going to do is fix the problem that you got yourself into, and we're going to cut your spending. And the third thing is, you guys have to pull together and work together, or this will never work. Each month, you are spending 125% of your income.
Really?
Really. If you keep this up, in 5 years, you'll be almost $500,000 in debt.
Wow.
I want your commitment that you are going to do whatever I ask you to do to make this problem go away. Do you promise me?
I promise.
Michael?
I promise.
This month, you're going to live on cash, and you're going to do a series of challenges that I set for you. If you do the challenges to my satisfaction, I'll give you up to $5,000 to pay down your debt. Next thing I want is your credit cards. Go get them. Coming up, I give my biggest challenge yet.
I hate it. And I hate it.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Laural and Michael owe a whopping $107,000 in consumer debt.
Our financial situation today kind of sucks.
Laural blames Michael for bringing a large student loan into the marriage. That student loan, it's good debt. But seems oblivious to the debt her own shopping addiction is incurring.
Any shopping will do.
So before they end up calling it quits,
I don't think we could last much longer.
they're going to live by my rules. For the next month, this couple will learn to live on a strict cash budget. No more credit cards. They'll complete weekly challenges to tackle their money and relationship issues. And if they're willing to change, I will reward them with thousands of dollars to pay down their debt. No changes, no money. Give me those credit cards. Why, thank you. You're going to have to live on cash. Your budget is made up of 2 parts. Your fixed costs, your mortgage payment, your taxes, things we have no control over. And the variable costs, shopping, 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 and shopping. That's where we're cutting back. And cutting your variable expenses from just over $3,000 a month to just a smidgen over $1,300. You'll have $150 for food, $24 for clothing and gifts, $100 for transportation, $25 for entertainment, and $18 for other. If you don't keep track of it, it just disappears.
Right.
So you also have budget binder. Your challenge will be to get to the end of the month before you get to the end of the money.
Okay.
If you think this is hard, I'd like you to see what I'm going to do next. When you go to buy a house, There is a ratio that the financial institution uses to determine whether you can afford that house or not. They take into account your mortgage principal and interest, your taxes, other financing, your heating, 50% of your condo fees, and any other debt like student loans. They add it all up, and then they divide it by your gross annual income to come up with a percentage. Your percentage is usually 40% or less. Then they approve the mortgage. Yours is at 44%, so you're way over. Laural and Michael borrowed money for their down payment. That should have been their first clue that they weren't ready for home ownership. Now, between that loan, paying off their student loans, and taking care of their credit card bills, too much of their money is going to debt repayment. So even though they earn a good income, they can't afford this condo. This is your debt reduction challenge. This week, you're putting your condo up for sale. I want to know how you expect to get out of this debt if you don't use the equity that you have in the condominium.
I don't know.
Do you want to live in this condo with your baby for the rest of your life?
Not for the rest of my life.
Okay.
But where are we gonna live?
Well, between your current mortgage fee and your condo fees, you have $1,700 a month to play with in terms of rental money.
I know.
Go on, finish.
Well, I
If
don't
we
know where
said,
we're gonna live.
sweetie, what is your aversion to renting?
I hate it. And I hate it.
What do you hate?
The laundry room.
You're thinking of a high-rise building? You don't think you can rent a house for $1,700 a month? I'm saying you're changing location, but you're changing it with less debt.
This will be the fourth move this year.
Why have you moved so many times?
Our tenants moved out of our unit, so we moved back.
When you rented this place, how much did you rent it for?
$11.75.
So you weren't even covering your costs. Oh my God! Is that not the answer to the question right there? This is your life, your house, your decision. When I tell couples to sell their home, I don't do it lightly. I've run the numbers and there's no other solution for Laural and Michael. But the final decision will be theirs.
It's not an automatic like, oh yeah, great idea. It took me a minute to say, okay, well, is it a good idea?
And I can see where she's making her point. Yes, you know, this is a huge albatross.
The ceiling height is quite significant in here. And I like the
Once it recovered from the shock, Laural and Michael got on board with my challenge and looked into selling their condo.
We want to discuss price, but we want it to be a price that we're comfortable with.
We have a couple of factors that are working against us right now. One of them is the market, which right now is kind of slow.
In the end, Laural and Michael agreed to list their condo at $187,500. They'll only know if the price is right if offers come in. You did some pretty hard things this week.
It was a lot of work. It wasn't
Yes.
an easy week.
You decided to list the
Yeah,
condo?
we're listing the condo.
How do you feel about that?
Once I kind of got used to the idea, it wasn't as bad as I thought.
So you needed a push.
Yeah, exactly.
How are you guys doing?
With the selling thing?
No,
Just-
with each other.
With the selling the condo and stuff, it's really forced us to work more together and to look towards the future.
You've done well this week. You have a lot of work to do. And I'm about to add one more.
Great.
It's the Future Plan Challenge. And you're gonna shop
Really?
once.
Really?
Yes, really.
That's a good challenge.
So plan your meals, shop once, show me one receipt.
Well, I love shopping, and it's a great challenge.
Michael, the student loan you have weighs like a ton of bricks on your shoulders. Okay? You don't want that for your son. So what you're going to do is you're going to open up a savings program so that by the time he's heading off to the halls of higher learning, he has the money he needs.
For me to be given this challenge is a little awkward. I'm not usually the one who makes these kind of decisions.
Coming up, will Laural be able to control her shopping habit?
I have absolutely no idea if I'm on target.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Laural and Michael have a combined debt of $107,000, not including their mortgage.
If we don't get these debts taken care of, I'm pretty sure Laurel's going to leave me.
The only way for me to get them back on track was asking them to sell their condo. Go on, finish.
If we sell, we're gonna live.
While that's in the works, Laural needed to tackle her shopping addiction, and Michael had to get more active in planning for their financial future.
I'm not usually the one who makes these kinds of decisions and choices.
Succeed and they'll earn up to $5,000 to help pay down their debt.
We usually sort of do it on the fly, it's usually text messaging each other on the way home. My idea of grocery shopping is you go to the grocery store without anything, and then if there's sales, you buy 10. Mike budgeted, he thought that it would cost $75, so we'll see who's right. I think it's gonna be more than that.
Your total is 104.02, please.
So I was closer, I win. That's why I shop.
The big decisions, such as setting up savings plans and stuff like that, have all been driven mostly by Laural, and I've kind of been in the passenger seat, going for the ride. It was nice to be able to do something for Matthew on my own without Laural's input.
If you're able to put the $100 in starting shortly, again, if your goal was to just pay for tuition, well, you're not too far off that.
Okay, well, that's good.
Congratulations. Thank you. Make the first step.
Could you stand only shopping once this week?
It was really hard.
Do you see the relationship between planning for what you eat and planning for what you spend?
I found the shopping part of it stressful.
Because you were shopping for pleasure before, and now you have to shop with a purpose.
But then I often forget stuff, I'll come home without eggs and stuff like that.
Michael?
Mm-hmm. Basically, we decided we're going to start with about $100 a month for now and gradually increase as our debts come down.
Excellent plan. This week's challenge is a relationship challenge. And this week, what you're going to do is you're going to go to a massage clinic and you're going to learn how to rub each other right. Because you guys are not going to have money to do anything else. Okay, you're going to have no money until you get this debt cleared up, so you better be each other's best friends. When I get back here, I want to hear all about it.
I have a much brighter outlook on our future than I did, even 3 weeks ago, so.
I think a big part of doing this has been working on our relationship, not just on our finances and sort of how it all works together. So I think doing something like this definitely plays a huge role in figuring everything out.
Coming up, have my challenges put Laural and Michael on the road to recovery.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
When I met them, Laural and Michael were considering separation.
We have talked about separating.
I'm pretty sure Laurel's going to leave me.
Student loans, out-of-control shopping, and a bad decision to buy a condo left them with $107,000 in consumer debt.
Michael gets a lot of collectors' calls.
Laurel is a bit of a money waster.
Instead of fixing the problem, they were playing the blame game. So I wanted to do something to get them back in touch with each other. Have they done enough to earn up to $5,000 to pay down their debt?
Laurel got a good massage.
I did, yeah.
You did. How did it feel?
Great. It was very relaxing.
You haven't had a chance to reciprocate with Michael yet?
Well, I did a bit of one, but I got more of one. Michael will get a massage tonight.
Good. Okay. How are you feeling about that?
It's been great. I mean, not only for, financially, but for Laurel and I to start working as a team again. I mean, it's been a great push in the right direction.
In terms of the whole selling the condominium process, where are you right now?
Well, we weren't expecting it to sell overnight.
No. And it'll take a while for the right buyer to meet this place.
Exactly. But compared to when we've tried to sell before, it's a huge difference. We've had as many people in a short time as we did over a couple months. So.
Okay. And part of it is because you followed some good advice and you understand that if you stay where you are, the long-term ramification is really negative. You were headed to $500,000 in debt. Mm-hmm. It was a pretty sour situation to be in. So in your budget, we've set aside $1,500 a month for debt repayment. And if you stay on track, in 18 months, you'll have more than half your creditors paid off. We've also set aside $200 for savings and $100 a month for emergencies. You stick the $200 a month in a retirement plan, reinvest any tax benefit that you get. At 5%, you're looking at about $300,000 in 30 years.
It's much better news than it was a month ago.
When I got here, my 3-point plan for you was we were going to confront the problem of owning a condo that's absolutely an albatross. We're going to turn things around for your futures and for Matthew's by opening an educational savings account and learning to control your spending. And we were going to get you to stop bickering so much and start working together as a team.
Over the last few weeks, what we've kind of learned is that it's our debt.
Now you realize that you are a unit. And so for you, I have a check for $5,000.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take this. I also have for you a lovely weekend away in the country by the lake. Give each other that wonderful massaging thing you now know how to do.
Excellent.
It's a big relief to feel in control of our lives again.
I think we really are sort of on the same page now.